It's all gravy. Let's get into this child support topic. Child support in the black community. We're gonna jump straight into whether or not this system is even fair. So question 1, is the child support system fair to black men, specifically black men? What y'all think of this, yo? I think off the bat there might be a bias, but at the same time I don't know all these situations individually. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to just cast judgment right off the bat. I don't know. I feel like it's not. I know the way it's set up, like I don't think anyone should go to jail for not paying child support, but I've also not really been in these situations. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know what I mean? But I don't know what y'all think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also don't feel like I know enough to really have an encompassing opinion on whether or not it's really fair. Because you do have people who live recklessly, and it's like some people insist on learning the hard way. But at the same time, if there's certain things that are put in place where you get your driver's license revoked.
Yeah, I think if you miss payments, it's like missing parking tickets or speeding tickets. Like it's
you can't like renew it.
You can't renew it. You can get your suspended. I think you can get your license suspended, and then you have to make your payment, and then they'll reinstate it. It's literally like a parking ticket. But then if you miss more payments, a warrant goes out for your arrest, which I think the same thing happens with parking tickets. But they're not looking for you with parking tickets. They're looking for you when you're not paying child support.
Wow.
So.
Oh man, listen, I ain't got no problems with none of this shit. I think it's more than fair.
You think it's more than fair?
Keep it a buck. There's like websites you go to kind of calculate if in fact you had to pay child support, how much you got to pay. When I plugged in my info and my wife's info and everything, it just said I had to pay $1,050 a month. I was like, that's dumb cheap, bro. I'm like,
wait a minute. Man. So is a website dedicated to if you hypothetically had to pay child support?
Yeah, there's like different websites that will actually calculate it for the state of Massachusetts. Like,
that's funny.
How much you will actually, like roughly how much you would pay in child support. And I did like 3 websites and all came around the same amount. So I was like, yo, man, y'all can't complain, dog. In the grand scheme of things, like,
I don't know.
Man, y'all could take my money, nothing.
But then what's fair? Like, what does fair mean? Because that's like the biggest complaint I hear about child support is like, I guess, how much people have to pay. So if they go according to income, which I think we'll get into later, you know what I mean? Then I guess technically it's fair. But I think when it comes to people having, you know what? It might be. If you can gain full custody, I think I'm thinking of fair as who gets custody, if it's joint custody, how the child is kind of shared in a relationship.
I think, I don't know about all states, but the state of Massachusetts, how it is supposed to be like both parents, right? Mm-hmm. It's like split 50-50. So
yeah,
you're covering all the expenses together. But what a lot of men are saying is because the child lives with the mother, a lot of the expenses are already going to be covered regardless if the child was there or not, because the mother has to live in the house per se, right? And people make the argument that it's not like the energy bills or the heating bill or the groceries is really skyrocketing up.
Right.
And so I could kind of see that argument, because I remember like me and my wife, like we used to go out all the time, but when we had our son, we stopped going out.
Right.
And so the argument is, y'all were together or not, you was going to try to cut costs as much as you can. But when you have like the government saying, well, you guys make X amount, this is how much you're going to pay for that child.
Yeah.
Guys are like, well, what you're pretty much doing is you're forcing me to give not just child support, but like alimony low key, because the woman's going to pocket the rest of that money, which even me, I still don't agree with that. But that's a lot of the arguments that dudes are making. I'm like, yo, bro, to be a parent is a job. So to me, if I had to just pay once a month or once a week, whatever, take my money, dog, because wiping ass and cooking and cleaning and running around kids and dropping them off to school, that is work, bro.
But what about people who are like, like that are low income and that are barely like scraping by? Is it fairly allocated?
Based on like Massachusetts law, what they say is if the custodial parent doesn't work,
meaning the main parent that has custody.
Yeah, the one who has custody isn't working, then the other partner has to pay even more. So it's like it's kind of up.
Yeah, that's
but
not
at the
fair.
same time, it's not, because if you guys were in a relationship and one partner was not working, if you guys split up, you can't just have that person change their lifestyle when they went into that relationship thinking y'all were gonna be together and y'all gonna raise a child together.
Right.
So I'm beyond. I don't see why dudes complain.
So you're saying if you had the option of being the custodial parent or paying child support,
Dog, in a heartbeat,
You
I'll
would
pay the
choose
child support. Dog. Hell yeah.
I mean, you're probably
Hell
making.
yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to get in your pockets, but you're probably making like a comfortable living. But for
Yeah.
people who are making, for people who are just barely getting by, because like there's a certain income cap where it's like you're making a little bit too much money to qualify for any like government assistance program like food stamps or fuel assistance, but at the same time, you don't qualify for any subsidies, but then at the same time, because you're paying market value rent and you're trying to keep up with, the average cost of expenses, you're drowning. There's a lot of people that I talk to that make really good money, and it's like, well, yeah, I make X amount of money per year, so it's like National Grid and T-Mobile and my rent, they think that I can afford all of these things as if they're the only expense that I pay, So I guess that's something that I look at as well. Like for people who, don't qualify for subsidies, but because they have every bill collector looking at them the same way that people collecting child support are looking at them. Like you make this, so therefore you're good.
I hear that, but my response is, child didn't ask to be born. So
That's true.
It sounds cute. If I was a judge, I'd be like, yo, my G, get a second job. Okay, you crying right now, but if you don't pay your child support, what's going to happen to the child? So to me, I don't give a I honestly don't. I just don't. I'm like, yo, fam, it sounds cute, but bruh, you made the child. You made the child.
Is it?
You know what I mean? Now, should you request a smaller payment? Yeah, maybe. But again, I'm just basing it off of how I see my numbers. I'm like, I don't know why dudes is complaining. Now, brothers who may have multiple children and they gotta pay child support for multiple kids, then that's different.
doozy.
Because now they raping your pockets.
yeah.
So I could kind of see why brothers like, yo, I can't even live, this and that. But if it's like one.
Yo, but to be honest, a dude who's just going around having kids with different girls, like, the consequences. That's your fault.
Thank you.
I don't feel sorry for him, yo. I really don't.
I don't either.
That is your fault, yo. You know what I mean? So, cough up the bread. That's how I feel about that. But yo, listen, in 2010, Nas was ordered to pay $51,000 a month for child support for his son, Knight. Should there be a cap on the child support payment amount? This is how I feel about this. I feel like depending on the expenses for actual care of the child, I feel like when a father's paying this much money a month for child support, receipts need to be brought up. I need to see exactly where this money's going. And I won't have a problem with it. But when you see the receipts and I think the money's going on things that aren't necessarily for the child, maybe it's more so for the mom because the mom wants to flex.
But is that the case here? Do you feel that was like, why you like?
Well, I do know.
I mean, that's a lot of money. $51,000
The Nas
a
and
month.
Khalees thing, I do know Nas got it reduced dramatically, and Khalees was like, it's not fair, and that she wanted an increase because of their lifestyle is more expensive. And so, to me, I don't necessarily have an issue with, was it $51,000 a month? Mm-hmm. Reason why I don't have an issue with it is because, are you poor? Are you, middle class? Are you working class? Are you upper middle class? Or are you upper class, right? To me, if I lived in a mansion, right, I'm like wealthy. I'm a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I got a private jet. My kid goes to a private school that costs like $40,000 a year, right? Me and the wife doesn't work out. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think like poor people and rich people look at things a little different.
I was going to say rich people child support problems is a different level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you got to understand too, like when you're that successful, you're going to give your children that wealth anyways. They're going to inherit all of that. That's true. So it's like, like, who gives a fuck? Like, okay, yeah, how much I gotta pay for child support?
No,
Yo,
I don't think
60,000 a
anyone.
month. All right, yo, take my money. I don't give because it was gonna go to them anyways.
Yo,
you know?
I don't think anyone is arguing that. I think they're arguing the mom or whoever is receiving this money. I think they're arguing that person using more of the money for themselves. This is why I say every situation is different. Because if the father and mother don't get along, they don't like each other, but they're there for the kid, then I don't necessarily care to have my money go to.
So do you think Khalees is pocketing some of that 51,000?
Probably. That's why I said I need receipts, but I don't know. Yeah. That's why I think receipts have to be brought in. Because if I really don't like this person that I'm dealing with, but I love the kid, I'll do whatever for the kid. But however, if I'm giving this much money a month and yo, people's ideologies are different. What if I don't want my son or daughter dripped and draped out and all this Gucci and shit? You know what I'm saying? And you buying them all these expensive things.
But the question is, before y'all broke up, was he or she going on? Draped down in some Gucci?
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying I don't know these situations. But
because the courts are gonna say, yo, you have to maintain the lifestyle. Same thing when you're paying alimony to your significant other. Whoever,
maintain the lifestyle of the parent, or can I choose something different? Because what I'm saying is the money needs to go directly to the child, the care of the child, everything for the child.
Which it is though.
But because okay, well we look at it. But
that's why they do the calculations.
Right.
Do they bring receipts? That's what I'm asking. I don't know that. That's the.
While you may look at it like, okay, she's pocketing the money, or like using it frivolously, there's probably a lot of things that, like, you know, if we had children that we would want to afford to the child that we can't, you know, like, so for her, she travels, she tours, she has a nanny with her children.
These are all things that she should be able to take care of.
And I'm pretty sure as a public figure, I remember Holly. I remember Holly Berry, and
she should be able to go half.
I forgot the other woman's name. She used to be married to Ben Affleck. I can't remember. Jennifer Gardner. But I believe a few years ago, they tried to put a legislature and act to protect celebrity children from the media, like being chased by paparazzi and all of that. And Khalees is like fiercely private with her children. Like, you don't see pictures of their faces, none of the sort. And I think that, you know, while on the outside we may calculate it as if, yeah, she's spending frivolously, or she's trying to, you know, keep up with the lifestyle that she had at the height of her fame, or whatever the case. I think that, you know, expenses also go into like the protection and security of her children when she's away. You know, you never know, like maybe her children might have like special needs and, you know, work with physical therapists, like things like that.
I'm not disputing any of this. I think
right,
that I'm just asking for receipts.
What if Khalees
when
said,
that much money is
involved?
What if
Khalees said, yo, I want my kids to eat the finest foods, organic this, organic that, grass fed this,
then
all of that shit.
Cover the rest of that.
Word?
Yeah. Because that's not what I agree to. This is a tough thing. This is my child you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So what if I don't want them eating all?
Now let's say your child they could go to Harvard or they could go to a community college. You're going to have to take that community college life.
Nah. The value that you're speaking of is different when you're talking about education versus
nutrition,
food
and nourishment.
Yeah.
And let's keep in mind too, when she did the interview,
you don't have to go to Whole Foods. You can go to Tropical Foods in Dudley Hollow.
I don't know about that, but
I mean, you could go to the bodega. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, y'all gonna downgrade Tropical Foods like that? What the fuck? Tropical Foods, peace. No.
It ain't Whole Foods.
Let's not forget too that she did an interview and she was saying that Nas barely sees his children, so that's always
let's
something.
Not even do that, yo.
Listen,
he barely sees it because of her. I believe that.
I don't believe that.
Listen, the only thing I'm saying for this in particular is I want receipts for that much money. But again, I'm not that rich to shell out $51,000 a month, so I don't know what this is.
Yo, but hold on.
Maybe it's nothing for him.
Do you think that there should be a cap on the amount that you should be able to?
I don't know if there needs to be a cap because the amount of money, again, depending on who. I just need to see receipts. I don't need a cap. I just need to see where the money's going. I need to see exactly where the money's going.
But all right, so let's just say he was ordered to just pay $500 a month. Would you still want to see receipts?
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah.
All right, penny pincher. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not penny pincher. I'm talking about. I'm speaking on a situation where the mother and father don't get along at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The situations vary. They could get along fine, and I'm giving whatever these people. You know what I mean? In a situation where they don't get along, I want to see receipts.
By you saying that you want to see receipts, do you mean that you want to make sure that like every penny of what you're giving is going to the child in actuality? Like you're looking for verification of that when you say that you want to see receipts?
Yeah, and maybe some of it can go to her for gas to drive him to school or something like that. But for the most part, yeah, I just want to see.
Well, why do you say it like that?
I just want to see receipts for that much money a month. Even the $500, yeah, I just want to see that it's going to something. I mean, because there's people out here who hustle this. This is the other thing. Everything's a double-edged sword. So there's women out here who hustle this system,
Yeah,
that's true.
I guess.
No, there are women out here who hustle the system like this.
Right, but they spent frivolously when they were together. They definitely.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about like shorties that.
If we're talking specifically about
before they were pregnant, and then they're gonna use it after. You know what I'm saying? Like after they get the divorce and everything.
If we're talking specifically about them, then I don't really know the ins and out of this situation. Again, two people who don't get along at all.
How about this? Let's break it down to like in the hood. Yeah, a hood rat is doing a child support
probably hustling.
I don't understand how you can make a child support hustle. I'm being honest.
You don't understand? Get pregnant, get trapped. It's pretty simple. This is a thing. This is a
that's
real
the thing. If you sleeping with a celebrity,
this is
sleeping
a real
with a hood book. It's like, what you gonna get out that?
I don't know if it still goes on today, but definitely 90s, Parents would tell their young girls like, "Oh, you gotta get a book." This is a thing.
I did hear about.
This is a thing. This is real.
This girl told me about a while ago. So she basically found out she was her boyfriend's side chick, and her boyfriend's girlfriend. The dude would tell the side chick like, "Well, she's been with me for a long time, and her mom really likes me, and blah blah blah." And her mom even says like, "You should have a baby with him because he has a good job," and da da da. So there are some people who are unfortunately bred with that kind of mind state, like, okay, just make sure he makes like 65 and up a year. If you are let him knock you
this
up,
may sound crazy. If that is a hustle, I don't see the problem in that unless the dude was trapped. If a dude chooses to have a baby with a shorty, like chose to have a baby with that shorty, you could have wore a condom, you could have kept the Jimmy hat on, you could have pulled out. You could have left with your condom.
Yeah,
have you ever
those
seen
situations? I hear you. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm like, unless like he got trapped, like shorty was poking holes in his rubbers.
Don't like condoms.
Oh, if don't like condoms, I hope they like kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
they better be great with kids.
Oh, I'm just saying. Like, so that's why to me, I'm like, did she really trap you, bro? You made a mistake. That's your mistake. But at the same time, it's still your child.
A lot of guys pride themselves on their pullout game.
Listen, that's the.
Bragging about pullout games.
Yo, listen, should black women forgive and respect their children's father for not adequately providing for his children financially if he provides the children emotional support? So if he's providing emotional support.
I feel like I would be like, you're a great dad and everything, but I can't take emotional support to the bank.
No, facts. Yeah. I can't cash emotions. Right? My son can't eat a smile.
Nah, listen.
I know, right? When you pay on National Grid, you either pay with a credit card or a debit card or a money order.
We don't pay with hugs.
Right.
Can you drop
Try
that?
hugging your landlord.
Right.
Facts.
Get your landlord a big hug.
Let me slide another month. He's so nice. They were watching Sesame Street together. Yeah, no,
I think that's a resounding.
Yo, it's weird. With answering that question, I look at it like, you're supposed to be there for your children, Like, I don't know, man. I'm still wondering what brothers is beefing about. Oh, I will say this though. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of brothers have the issue of when they have like joint custody, but they still gotta pay child support. That's kind of wild to me. I don't know how the fuck that happens.
Oh wow,
yeah. Like the child is like with you half of the week.
Oh yeah,
but you're still paying child support. I'm like, how the fuck is that happening? But that might be the case where she made nothing in the relationship, and the court is forcing you to pay because the other person can't contribute that financial half. Yeah, so you're screwed. But at the same time, you chose to have a child with a shorty that had no job. So, dummy, like, you want to be breadwinners, well, get what you asked for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you. Yo, so should dudes be arrested for being delinquent on their child support?
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about this. I think I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
You gonna explain?
Huh? I listen. The idea is not fully fleshed out yet. You know what I mean? The only thing I can think is I need to know how many payments. If you miss a payment,
nah, it ain't no like 1 or 2 payments, bro. You know what I mean?
Maybe
they come get you.
Maybe a
real.
year go by.
Yeah, let's say a whole year
at.
you didn't pay.
Yeah.
You cool with a year, or you're like nah?
Nah, a year is too long. If you put it this way, if you go MIA on this payment, then I get it.
So like if they'll go out of state, they'll work under a table, they'll do whatever.
They've never heard from him. They're like, yo, I can't find it. He's not making this payment. Like, you can't find him. Like that, you need to go get him. You know what I mean? Because he's not being responsible.
G Senior, yo, that
G Senior.
I hate for anyone to go to
Jamaica.
The thing is, I hate for anyone to go to jail specifically under, just federal watch.
Be a man, and you won't have to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a lot of kids out here making
step up and be a father.
I agree with you. I agree with you though.
I mean, what about like guys who get caught up? Because like there's guys out there that she said she was like using protection, and she said that she couldn't have children, and then she's like, "Look."
I'm being honest with you.
If they thought the girl was infertile, or
it depends. Was her intent to mislead the guy and get pregnant by the dude? If that's the case, then to me, nah, yo, you ain't gotta pay.
But then how can you prove that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's $1 million question.
I just want it because it kind of leads into this. If you are a non-custodial, meaning like you're not the one having full custody, custodial parent, and you couldn't see your child, would you still pay the child support?
If I was the non-custodial parent,
yeah,
I would definitely.
You don't have custody of the child. You can't see them.
You can't see them.
Yeah.
Would you pay?
Would you pay child support?
Yeah, I would. I would definitely still pay.
And you can't see your kid.
Yeah, because you still
would
want
pay
them
throughout all that pain. I see where you're going. That's a lot of pain, though. I don't know. I feel I would just be vindictive. I don't know.
What's the alternative though? The alternative is not paying and not feeding and yeah.
The alternatives go to jail, bro. I'll pay that in a heartbeat. Like,
well, I mean, I'm like, okay, you're saying for the sake of for the sake of not going to jail, but then it's also like my father wasn't in my life, but at the very least, he paid for me to go to field trips. He paid for my school. He's the reason I had school lunch. He's the reason I had this, that.
Yo, not even that. Let's say your child's gonna be upset, right? Like, oh, you was there for me emotionally, all that. You can easily explain to your child, your mom's put me on this where I can't even see you. So then the kid goes, yeah, it wasn't my daddy's fault. And then you go like, motherfucker, I done paid X amount of dollars every week to your mom's to raise your. Then you go, oh, damn, daddy was doing what he could. You see what I'm saying? Your child,
I see what you're saying,
will be like,
but I'm going to fight the fuck out of it, yo. I'm going to fight it.
They're going to fight, probably going to lose. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to still fight it.
Some kids will look at you like, so the what? Like,
just lay down and take it, I guess.
Yeah, all right.
But I would have to fight it. And it depends. Again, it's situational. If you can't see your child, then there's probably a reason for it. But if the person with full custody is just being like vindictive.
What if Shorty just said, she lied and said like, Rome used to beat on me, this and third, or Rome used to beat on our children.
I'm not just going to accept that.
If the court believes her, what you going to do?
Fight the court. You got to keep going.
I respect it, bro.
I get it. It's a long process.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a process.
I get it. Brothers, I totally get it.
That's where, like, I'm not gonna say child support is the issue, but the courts are still like low key sexist, right? So, like, for example, if me and my wife like break up, 9 out of 10 times the child's going with the wife, right? Unless I could prove that she's unstable or she's putting my child in a harmful environment. Start
playing dirty, yo.
Yeah, but that's the only way a brother would get custody. He has to prove like, yo, she's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
the court in general, going back to the first question when it's about fairness, the fact that you have to prove someone else can't take care of it, you're put in a position where you have to kind of play dirty, yo.
Nah, that's not true.
You don't think so?
Nah, to me, I'm a stand-up guy. So I'm like, my wife's not going to put my child in harm's way. So I'm not going to go to court like, yo, she be sprinkling Coke in his cereal. Like, nah.
I do nothing like that. But if you really wanted custody for whatever reason of your child, and you have to kind of go into this back and forth, and this is why I talk about whether or not the parents get along, then you're put in a position, your lawyer's going to be like, well, what makes her unfit to keep him? Or what makes you fit? So now you gotta kind of exploit her flaws or something to make it seem like she's not.
Yeah,
fit.
when you bring it to court, like the lawyers gonna
be kinda,
the lawyers are gonna be your like little the
that
devil you
ain't
sitting on
that
the.
only works if you actually got ammo. Because your lawyer's gonna be like, yo, does she does anything crazy? Like, does she drink a lot? Does she do this? Does she smoke in front of him?
Yeah, but you're gonna be looking for something.
Yeah, but if you go, I ain't got nothing.
So now you're trapped in this mindset.
You gotta take that L, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, if
like,
you ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing.
You ain't got nothing, yo. Like,
but if it's a situation where the person's being vindictive, mother or father, you should still try to fight it. And the courts suck because things, they're like, oh, well, we'll put this to trial to 6 months. Not even to make a decision, just to figure out what we're going to do next. Then you got to wait another 6 months to a year. So the courts suck in general.
And the kids over there like, hello,
and the kids just chilling. Yeah,
hello,
you know what I mean? Trying to figure some shit out. So,
all right, let me just be real, right? This is the problem with the black community, right? Motherfuckers don't need court to take care of their children.
100%, I agree.
You make an agreement with your significant other, like, yo, I'll give you X amount of dollars every week or every month or whatever. Or, like, it could be arrangements where it's like, yo, I'm down and out at work right now, but I'll pay for all the school supplies. I'll pay for his or hers lunch money, or it could be shit like that. Or, you know what? I'll pay for your car, the car insurance, so you can bring the child to school every day and pick her or him up, whatever. If, let's say, I lost my job, right? I could go to the court and be like, hey, I can't pay this right now, blah, 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 blah. Now, some judges might be like, I can get another job, all of that stuff. And then I read, too, what was crazy was, like me, right? I got, like, advanced degree and everything. They will be like, based upon your degree, you should be making X amount of dollars on average.
But that doesn't mean that you do, though.
But they don't give a f***. They're like, you could make this money, so go make that money because that's going to be your child support.
I'm like, word, can I put you down as a reference then?
Oh, right. Or, like, judges will just be like, get a second job. Get it, like, because dudes like, yo, I can't afford it. My rent is already, especially in Boston, it's expensive here, right? So you go, yo, my rent is da-da-da, my mortgage is da-da-da. Yo, that sounds cute, fam. Go get a second job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a second job. Go get a third. I don't know what to tell you. That's f***ed up, but hey, it is what it is.
Silent for you, Tyreek.
So right off of that, if a woman who's a custodial parent is used to a lavish lifestyle, like high-end clothes, new cars, eats at expensive restaurants, blah, 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 should she be ordered to change her lifestyle to minimize the non-custodial parent's child support payment?
I'll say no.
No one should have to change their lifestyle.
Mm.
I mean, your lifestyle is your lifestyle. I don't think anyone has to change their lifestyle.
Wrong. Now put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, it is what
you
it is.
break up with your shorty. She got your child. She's bougie as you not going to be on some like, yo, your honor.
About needing receipts earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to be like, oh, your honor, what the f***?
What's wrong with receipts? How come no one wanted to pull receipts?
No. What I'm saying, no, I'm not mad at that. What I'm saying is, because she lives like a lavish lifestyle, she be like, yo, my kid can't just have any dog. She has to have a full breed, whatever,
a Bichon
that eats grass-fed steak every day. You'd be like, whoa, what the f***? My kid can't go to any school. They got to go to the top-ranked boarding school, and they have to have a personal tutor from Siberia.
Listen, I'm going to argue and fight most of this shit, but I guess if I lose, I lose. And I just got to, but for the most part, because I'm not that kind of person. I'm not lavish, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? So I would probably decide against most of it, but if they're like, listen, it has to happen, I'm gonna say nah.
Yo, so like, what if she,
I'm gonna say no.
So what if she said, yo, I need to get a car? You'd be like, yo, get a Toyota or a Honda. She's like, nah, I need a Benz.
Nah.
Word?
Yeah, nah. There's nice Toyota Avalons. There's really,
she's
really
like,
nice
I can't
Ford
be pulling up
Focuses.
to our kids.
I'm gonna tell her to stop.
With a
ballet recital.
Tell her knucklehead to stop watching TV.
She's like, I can't be pulling up with no CRV, my G, like, or a Prius. You know what I mean?
Yo,
I gotta have that.
Send it
she competing with all the bougie moms.
She's trying to be out here in black.
Yeah, she's trying to be the
Joneses.
Yeah, what's up with why not?
I mean, listen, I didn't
mean. I was like, no, my dime. I feel you, bro. I feel you. I ain't even
on my watch.
I ain't, hey.
Not in my house.
My only thing is, it's just like, how I look at life is, she was like that before y'all had the child. she's most likely gonna stay like that. The probability is pretty high. She's still gonna be bougie after the child.
See,
you know what I mean?
Right. So situational. I understand it then. If she switched up though.
Oh no. That's crazy.
Nah,
she switched
you know
up on me, then I know she try to hustle
If
me.
you went with someone like that, then you already know it is what it is.
Right. I'm gonna be honest, that hurt me so much. I don't even know if I could see my child. It'd be hard for me. I have to tell my child the truth. Like, yo, reason why I ain't with your mom because she's a, the B word or something else. I don't f with her, yo.
Your mom's a herb, son.
Yo, I don't f with her, yo. She set me up. I'll tell my kid, even if it was my daughter, I'll tell her the truth. Like, yo, don't be like your mom's. Be better than that. Your mom's had a good black man, but she lost it. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm stressed out, throwing away all this money to you while your mom's rocking Gucci and shit. You know what I mean? So,
jeez.
Hey.
Listen.
Your mom's in the Gucci gang and living her best life and whatnot. And I'm over here.
Well, I got a credit card at Walmart.
Right.
You know
Eating canned salmon.
Right, while I'm eating oodles and noodles and shit. You know what I mean? Oh, man.
Shout out to her. Man.
While I'm eating mayonnaise sandwiches and she's eating steak a la carte or whatever.
She's going to these clubs that look like spaceships on the inside.
She at
Pulling
Ruth
up
Chris.
VIP.
You know what I mean?
Drinking wine and eating apps at the W.
Yeah, facts.
I had cottage cheese for dinner.
That's what I'm saying. I'm eating my thoughts. She eating 3-course meals and shit.
Top
You know what I'm saying?
Thoughts.
Right, top of the hub and shit. Well, I'm in the basement.
Hey, but
I'm at the bottom of the basement. She at the top of the
my
hub.
TV still has antennas in it.
With a rotating view.
The tube TV.
Oh, man.
Just spinning on the top of the building. Yeah. Listen, in the state of Mass, healthcare, childcare, and housing costs are factored into child support payment. When determining the child support amount, should the court also consider the non-custodial parent's current employment and living situation?
I think it should.
Absolutely, yeah. That only makes sense. Yeah.
But I think about the employment, the living situation. I don't give a to be honest, if I was a judge. I got to be fair. Because the child support doesn't matter about the parents. It's all about the child. So I would have to think in the best interest of the children. If you're struggling to pay rent, bro, move out and live in a shelter. Because at this point, you're living for your kids. So... yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. I'm too principled. I don't know. It's just you gotta take this L, bro. Like, or get a second job. Like, just do something. I don't know. What my man Cam
Why
say?
do you just?
What he say? He said, "Can't get paid in the earth this big. You worthless kid. You deserve to live."
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Shout out to Cam.
Get a third job.
But why do you dispel the living? Why do you not care about the living situation? I think the living situation is important. There's definitely some that are not in a current living situation where they take care of children.
But your living situation is your choice. Your child, though, again, it's like...
Is your lifestyle a choice?
Yeah, your lifestyle is your choice.
Or is that just what you... Is that your creed? Is that what you do?
What you mean? Your lifestyle?
Like your lifestyle.
Your lifestyle is your choice.
You set it up.
Like lifestyle, lifestyle meaning like your living situation, like how you adapt.
I'm trying to tie in living situation to lifestyle.
So what do you mean by lifestyle? Do you mean like if you're like a nightclubber, popping bottles, you like expensive clothes?
Well, I don't know the maybe I need a definition of.
Because when I think about lifestyle, I think about in the context of like your domestic. Living situation. Like, do you think it's a choice? Your lifestyle is a choice? I don't think it's a choice.
It is a choice. I think that's why. You know why? You got options, right? You got Whole Foods, you got Trader Joe's, you got Stop and Shop, you got Price Right. You choosing to always go to Whole Foods when you could go to Price Right and get all of that for like a quarter of the cost. That's lifestyle.
A bodega.
But that's still lifestyle. But you still proving my point.
Nah, because
you chose your lifestyle. That's your lifestyle.
Nah, because
you could get a BMW.
Nah.
You could get a Volvo. You could get a Honda.
No, you can't.
You could get a hoopty. Yeah, you can.
You have to work for those things, which means your lifestyle would change.
But it's a choice.
Kind of.
Yo, stop it, dog.
Because what's driving you to do that?
Stop it. There's a project right up the street. I guarantee you we'll see some luxury whips in the projects.
Yeah.
That's my point.
No,
it's a choice.
No, no. But your lifestyle, the way you live your life, you choose it, but I don't know that the drive behind it is something that that might be innate.
Okay, for instance, like, G, what kind of water do you drink?
I drink spring water.
Right, but with the multitude of choices in water out there,
Yep.
why not choose like a brand of water that's not spring water that might be like a little cheaper or whatever the case?
Because I don't want to drink tap water.
Right. So like,
So I choose to drink spring water. Just like
No,
I
but
don't
you
drink
see-
tap. You know what I
But
mean?
you can't. You encountered something that said, "I can't drink this."
even
No,
though that's
I chose this. I could drink tap water right now. I chose not
But
to
you don't
drink
want
tap
to.
water. Yeah.
I guess like,
So what you encountered though makes you make that choice. Like you don't choose Poland Spring over tap water because you have the option. To you, tap water has all of these negative things
You're like,
in
it's
it
not an
that
option.
would do something. So it's not even an option for you.
I
at
agree,
this
but
point.
however, I
You're
don't
going
have to
to
drink Poland Spring. I could drink Fiji. I could
No,
drink
but
other.
you still don't do tap water.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So,
but that's my choice.
Nah,
Yes, it
you
is.
encountered something that drove you away
You're-
from it.
Okay.
That's not a choice.
your motivation
You were pushed
behind
away
that.
from it.
Your motivation, obviously, behind that is like for the sake of health.
Yeah,
But
so I
tap
chose
water-
that lifestyle.
Right. So tap water.
That's my point.
You were
Yeah.
driven away.
Yeah. Okay. Just like this.
I guess you could have stayed.
They refuse to drink
When you use the
high
example-
fructose corn syrup, right? Mm-hmm.
They were driven
yo,
away.
I don't know about driven away. They're just making a conscious decision not to consume those type of products.
Well,
You
they were
made
driven away
you
from
made
So
the
that's a
example
choice.
of Whole Foods, Price Right,
Yup.
this and that.
Mm-hmm.
If someone has the same kind of like principled beliefs in terms of taking their health into consideration, they're more likely to go to Whole Foods, which has a higher price point than like Price Smart, Price Right, or whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
However, if you're economically strapped for cash, are you gonna go to Whole Foods? No, you're gonna go. I gotta go Stop and Shop. I gotta go Price Right. I gotta go
listen,
Save a
I
Lot.
can see
there's
whatever.
some people who are still gonna.
I can
do
see
it.
both sides.
So
But
that's why it's a choice. And then think about it.
I
Even
can't
let's say
rock
they
with that,
do.
but-
If let's just say you're strapped for cash and you still choose to go to Whole Foods, just like there's people in the project strapped for cash, but they'll still pay like $500 to $600 a month for their car, right? What they do is they're not going to purchase other things to supplement that, and so
Yeah.
that's still a choice.
I mean, they're
Yeah, I mean, it's-
economically sound enough to make a decision. I understand that. I still think living situation should be factored in along with employment when it comes to child support.
so how
or
about let me
whatever.
ask you why?
Why? Because if the person's not in a healthy space for a child, they don't need to be there.
No, the child's not there. The child's with the other person, the custodial parent.
Yes.
The child's not with you. So why should the
Oh,
court
you're saying the
factor in your lifestyle?
Then yeah, no, I don't. You're right. Never.
Argue with me.
Well, no, I'm arguing that the lifestyle is not a choice. It depends. It's not a choice for everybody. I disagree with you there. But I will agree the living situation doesn't matter because, yeah, the child's not with them anyway.
Do
You're
you
right.
believe having children is a choice?
Having a child is a choice? Yes and no.
Yes or no?
Yes and
All
no.
right, cool.
It depends. It's situational. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard for me to speak in generalities. I think too much about other people. I forgot. I apologize. But listen,
It's always a choice, dog.
I'm not
Always a
that
choice.
guy. I'm not that guy. That's
Babies don't just pop up out of thin air, dog. It was a choice.
you definitely lay down and do some things, but some people just
Yeah, I
stupid.
mean-
You know
What
what I mean? So
about-
I can't say it's a choice or not.
You're gonna be like,
Yes
oh,
and no.
never mind. You're gonna be like, why are you taking that turn? No, no, no.
No, you can do it. Oh, don't tell me rape or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, you see, hold on.
Oh God,
This is what I'm gonna say.
Lord,
If a
help us.
Oh, don't panic.
it,
Right.
all right, I'm gonna say this, and then I don't mean to offend anybody. This is what I truly believe. I don't see how a sister could actually want to have a child with a rapist. But if in fact she can't afford to have an abortion or something, right? Then
I'm talking about like young girls. Like I'm talking about girls that are like preteen.
they can't get an abortion.
As we take this dark twist down.
Nah, I'm just like, yo, can't they still get an abortion?
There's some circumstances where they can't afford it, or
Yeah, see, now that's what I'm talking about. Now that's different. If you got raped, you can't afford an abortion, this and the third. Now, you see, that's when it's like out of your control. I'm talking about for the fellas, right, who are choosing to sleep with these sisters. Even if their intent isn't to have children. Come on, yo. We're not stupid, yo. The purpose of sex is to reproduce. You know what I'm saying? So can't be like, yo, what the f***, dog? I'm stressed, man. Yo, It's like, yo, fam, like, yo, what are you doing, dog? Like,
Right? Did she hold you at gunpoint?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's crazy, yo.
So, yo, should we as a community scrutinize and judge deadbeat parents?
Hell yeah.
We should scrutinize, judge deadbeat parents. I'm never one to cast judgment. It's not me. It's not my thing. But,
yo, let me ask y'all a question. Should we scrutinize and judge child molesters?
I knew you were gonna say.
Hey, you pulled it to rape, so I'm gonna pull it to child molestation. Answer the question.
How is that in the same like?
It is.
Category?
I'm about to explain. I'm about to trust me. It's an easy alley-oop. Y'all should see what I'm about to do. But
no, I see what you do.
All right. So now, should we judge and scrutinize child molesters in our neighborhoods?
Yeah. Should we judge and scrutinize?
Yes.
You said yes. Why?
Because they're taking away children's innocence.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Why.
All right. Cool.
Okay. So now,
because they're harming children, right?
Well, they're taking away their innocence.
What that mean?
They're taking away their innocence.
All right, you want to be a lawyer? Now I'm gonna ask you the question. Now I'm gonna ask you the same question.
I don't want.
Yo, should we scrutinize and judge child molesters in our neighborhoods?
Define judging and scrutinizing.
Man, listen, like, yo, we don't with you, or that's fucked up. You need to change, or whatever, bro. You need to step up, or whatever. All of that.
That doesn't necessarily sound like judging or scrutinizing.
That is judging and scrutinizing.
You're telling them that you're kind of giving them encouragement to change and get help. Like, to me, judging and scrutinizing is you're cast away.
All right, with that too. Like, dead to us, dog. Don't ever come to a family gathering, nothing.
Yo, I gotta say, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, yeah.
You said, yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right. And the reason why I asked is because a deadbeat dad does the very same thing, but to a different degree. They're both causing harm to children who are innocent. And not to mention, most of the time, a deadbeat will strip a child of his innocence.
That was a reach. I see what you're saying.
It's not a reach.
That was a reach.
It's not a reach.
Nah, that was Dawson.
Y'all is serious. All right, yo, I'm going to be honest with you. Yo, as a who was raised in a single family
taking
household,
away a child's innocence versus just not being there while the other parents probably... Listen, that was a reach.
Yo, are you serious, bro?
I
don't know what lives y'all lived, right? I grew up getting electricity off.
Yep.
Had to eat up. Repo man came, took our crib. I done seen all of that. That wouldn't happen if my father was paying child support, bro.
Your innocence was snatched away. Yeah, the same way a child molester.
It's not the same. I never said the same way. All right, let me ask y'all a question.
You say he does it the same way, but to a different degree.
How about this, yo, Sheens? Let me ask you a question. Can poverty cause trauma?
Yeah.
Bingo. So, all right, then. Yo, I'm gonna ask you, Rome. Does poverty cause trauma?
It could.
It could, right?
It could.
So then now, if you are a father and you are the father and you're supposed to pay child support and you're refusing to pay child support, or you're just like, yo, I can't afford it, so I'm not going to pay. Mm-hmm. And you know the kid needs the child support to either get an education, to get food, to live in a comfortable living situation. They need all of that. And you're like,
I guess
your moms can handle that. You know what I'm saying? Now your moms are stressed. But some mothers... Mm-hmm. Take it out on their children, especially you got a boy.
Listen, you're painting the absolute worst case.
It's not
scenario,
the absolute worst scenario.
I get it. I get it. I get what you're saying. It's just not. I'm not putting those two together.
Why not?
Because I won't.
All right, that's not even logical, bro. But
it's not logical.
I hear you. Yeah, you're just like, I just refuse to do it.
No, you just refuse to see what I'm saying. Because all I'm getting at is
not explaining
when you
just
rip
get loud.
No. Just pay attention and listen.
All right, go ahead.
When I say snatch a children's innocence away, a child molester doing something sexual to a child, you're trying to compare to poverty. Get out of here.
So are you saying that there's no trauma in poverty?
I mean, that's all I gotta say.
They're both.
No. Nothing left to say on the subject.
So you're telling me there's no trauma in poverty?
G is apples.
I didn't say all of that.
G is apples and oranges.
But I'm done.
Hold on. I agree with you. It's apples and oranges, but it's still trauma. It's different types of trauma, even to different degrees. However, both are traumatic to the child. So now, if you're saying I'm not going to take care of my kid, and the kid grows up up like a lot of kids do in the hood because they had deadbeat parents, you can't be like, oh, it's not that serious.
I'm not comparing deadbeats to child molesters.
I am. Anybody who harms children is a problem, bro. Anybody. Because the kid, again, is innocent. Once you steal that innocence from a child, anything can happen. And that's why trauma is real. I'm not viewing it
in the frame that you're painting it. That's all.
You know, yeah,
cool.
and
I get it.
Yeah, and I understand like where you are and aren't trying to link the two. But when you look at the circumstance of like, yes, they both are situations where it's like the adult is causing like harm to a child, you know, and and those like really fragile formative years, you're very ferociously tampering with that. But when you have an instance where, you know, it's a situation of child support, there's more support by way of like, you know, you have, even though the court system is not the greatest or more legit in terms of finding a solution, that's still a situation where there are people who are involved that are trying to help you find a resolve. I think where Rome can't compare the two is because when you have an instance where you know there's like a sexual predator or child molester in your neighborhood, what institutions are you that you know of actively that are like, let's get this guy help, let's, you know, like, let's help mend the relationship between that person and the child? That doesn't happen. If anything, that severs, you know, if it's like a family member, that severs the relationship between the child and the parent. You know what I mean?
So what's the system for a deadbeat? Remember, we're talking about a deadbeat, a person who the court is telling you have to pay X amount, and you go, I ain't paying. That's a deadbeat. You're not paying. You're refusing to pay. So now, where is the system to protect those kids from a deadbeat? There is none. All you got is, if anything, the community having shame or showing some type of disgust towards that person. Because other than that, it's like, how do you actually get a deadbeat to actually pay?
All right, but the example that you're making, that's a deadbeat is making a defiant choice against the court and the systems that are trying to help him and saying, I'm not paying it for whatever reason, I don't feel like it. When you have somebody who's
like of man blood.
Yeah, when you have somebody who is a child molester, they're denying it. They're not making a defiant, this is who I am.
That's not true. There's child molesters out here that
we got
actually
one more joint to turn up on.
He said it, man blood. Them acknowledge that they're attracted to little.
All right, how many Mambla members do you know live in like?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if they got caught, they on the sexual registry. And the poverty I grew up
in, cats are still running around outside. I don't like when I say taking away a child's innocence and you compare child molesters to poverty. Out of here, yo. That's how I feel.
Yo,
that's how I feel.
You know why? Because you're not thinking all the possibilities. I'm not thinking of
the exactly. You painted the absolute.
Think about this.
You painted this picture.
Yo, think about this.
That makes it seem like it's women.
There's
but
women.
I can't fuck with that frame.
Okay, that's cool. But there are women who literally can't afford to pay their rent, so they have to prostitute their bodies.
It's not the same as molestation.
And then their kids
Why bring up
see
the
that?
absolute worst situation in a generality?
Because
when you're trying to generalize,
because our children live in those.
Generalize.
Because our children live in those realities.
In generalities, you're comparing the two and you're saying it's the same.
You keep saying it's the same. I'm saying trauma
is the same at.
I don't think you listening to me.
He's talking about the element of trauma.
Thank you. That's what I said. And if you listen back, you're gonna be like, oh, he did say that.
But G, I don't.
No, but I still disagree with you. I don't agree with you. You may disagree.
However, there are traumas from all avenues, right? There's kids who, if their parent say, "Yo, idiot" every day, and they can have both parents in the household, but both parents are like, "Yo, them, you're ugly, you're stupid," this and third. That has long-term effects on that child, right? Now, I would say that kid is experiencing a traumatic situation in that household, right? It may not be the same as having an uncle raping you. However, it's still traumatic. You still grow up up. You may need counseling, all of that.
I get you.
Yeah, all right. I hope you get me. You know what I'm saying? But it seemed like you wasn't paying attention. You know
I'm paying attention.
I don't know.
Don't say that stupid shit.
I don't know, because you literally was like, yo, you're saying it's the same thing. I never said it was the same thing.
You're bringing them up in the same conversation.
Yeah, because trauma is trauma.
If women can
different
have...
degrees of trauma.
I'm going to jump into the next question. Sheens, do you have anything to add to it?
No.
This is just going to go in circles.
It ain't going in circles.
It is going in circles. I'm telling you, I don't agree with what you just said. You're trying to get me to agree to what you just said. Just agree to disagree.
No, all I asked was, yo, explain why. I ain't got to explain.
No, I explained why, and you're like, oh, you know so you don't think that X, Y, Z? I explained to you. Shut up.
No, you didn't explain. What did you say? You goes, I'm just not
do you have anything else? Do you have anything else to say?
Yo, this is just an extreme. I'm not going to compare this to.
Do you have anything else to say?
I'm just going to get louder.
I'm just going to get louder.
You're not answering. You're not answering nothing, though.
If women can have an abortion without the consent of the man, should men be allowed to refuse parental responsibilities if they do not want to keep the child? What do you think?
How about you answer?
Nah, I want to hear what you think.
I already answered all the other questions. How about you go?
I answered all the questions. This is all you. Go ahead.
Wait.
Sheens, can you answer? Because I ain't got nothing else to say.
It's different now because the table's like basketball, so we're like close to each other. So it feels like.
Hey, I just wanted it to be real, you know?
Just like. It doesn't feel like that red table talk thing with Jada Pinkett and her mom and daughter. Yeah, it's very different. We got to paint the table red, black, and green. Anyway, so if a woman could get an abortion without the knowledge, consent, or whatever of the man, does the man have the right to refuse parental responsibility? I think it's kind of... I think about it because I'm just like, well, I'm actually going to decline on being a part of this child's life.
Yo, it's you panic. Gee, you still don't have anything to say?
Gee, man. Gee, bruh.
Oh, no, I'm good, dog. I'm good.
I don't know.
You're pregnant. You're pregnant. I decline and
nah, but how about this? I will say this. That's the one time I say a brother should be able to relinquish his parental rights. Because to me, for Shorty was like, yo, I'm pregnant. And you're like, word, that's what's up. She goes, nah, it ain't what's up. I'm about to get an abortion. It don't matter what that say. She's going to do it. So I feel like in the reverse, like if she goes, yo, I'm pregnant. And he goes, what? And she goes, yeah, aren't you excited? Like, nah, go get that abortion. She's like, abortion, we keeping this. You keeping it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think dudes should have the right to do that.
But you think that men have the right to do that, but then you were speaking in opposition to, like, deadbeat fathers.
No, because again, if y'all notice, everything that I said was all about a choice. A woman has a choice to keep the child. She could choose to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. But if the woman could do it without the consent of the man, then it's only right that if a man goes like, I don't want to have this kid, I'm not ready. Let's say I'm not in a stage of my life where I want to have children, or I can't afford children at this time. And a woman's like, I don't give a about none of that. I want this kid right now. Then he should be like, all right, well, then I want to, release my rights as the father. And I think a woman should honor that.
So you can do that?
I don't know if you could. I think they should.
Because what stops that man from not being considered a deadbeat? Like, is he going to walk around the neighborhood and people are going to
what's a deadbeat? No. A deadbeat is literally, you've been ordered by the court to pay X amount and you refuse to pay. That's a deadbeat. You just saying, like, I ain't ready to be a father. I don't think you should be ordered or forced to raise that child. Just like if you donate sperm, right, to a clinic. You're not ordered to be the father of those children. So,
but you can still, a woman can still go after that same man and that said, hey, like, I give up my duties, I don't want to be a father or whatever. A woman can still go after that man if she wants to and make him pay child support.
Yeah, I'm saying that's wrong. I'm literally saying if they made an agreement, like, listen, I do not want to have a child. And she goes, yeah, that sounds cute, but I'm having this kid. I like your genetics. I'm having this kid. You go, nah.
I like your baby hairs.
There should be like a form. Sign here, I sign here. Yo, it's a legally binding form. Like, yo, I am not the father. This and the third.
I, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, hereby.
Oh, real talk. That's my honest opinion on it. Now, would the court honor that type of shit? Probably not. And that's why I'm saying, brothers, you could choose not to smash Shorty. Yo, because once you pipe, there's a chance that she could be pregnant. So it's like, do you really want to have sex with this particular person? I don't know. Do I want to have sex with a woman that lives in her mom's basement? No. What am I do that for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just setting myself up for failure. Levels to this shit.
But guys are always on the quest for what they refer to as that wet. You know what I mean?
Not me. Nah, dog. With the rubber, it all feels the same anyways.
Shout out to Durex.
Hey.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, that's it. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
This is the last episode.
No.
It's over right before it started.
It's all good. That's it. We got no more, man. We got no more. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Listeners, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Make sure you go to the website, upanicd.com. Sorry, did anyone else have anything else to say?
Oh, no, I'm
Okay.
good.
Nah, do you play
I'm
on?
ready to walk out of this uncomfortable situation.
Listen.
Do you, dog?
Make sure to go to upanic.com, upanicd.com. Go to RTC, join the convo. Do so the best way you know how. And listen, if you disagree at the foundation, you'll never build, right? But that's it. It's You Panic.
Where you get that from?
Yeah, all right.
We'll talk y'all next week.
Where'd you get that from?
Remember all them nights my mama cried? Baby, don't give up. We gon' be alright. Go ahead and wipe your eyes. Look at me, ma, keep your head up. Know it's cold outside. I got my heat, I'll be alright. Remember all them nights my mama cried? Baby, don't give up. We gon' be alright. Go ahead and wipe your eyes. Look at me, ma, keep your head up. Know it's cold outside. I got my heat, I'll be alright. Sometimes I used to blame you, used to treat you like a stranger. Shit, at times I didn't claim you, I was just so full of anger. Always felt I was in danger, so I started living dangerous. Now I feel your pain, and I wish that I could change it. You wasn't there when I was young, you wish that you could change it. Glad you put the pills down, and I'm glad to see you change. No, you can't put down the liquor, cause you feel like you a victim. All that weed up in your system, sometimes your head be filled with venom. Try to stop, but just keep sinning. Lost my dad in the beginning, so sad you had to leave me with him. Wish I could brag about us living. Ain't no rags up in the kitchen, only got about 10 dishes. No box spring, got a mattress, and of course the headboard missing. It's like everything we're missing. Get some rest, I got a vision. Say my prayers and I keep wishing. I understand you, so we're missing, but I love you, you my mama. Even though we see shit different, it's alright, I'll tuck you in. Before I leave, I'm going get it. Remember all them nights my mama cried? Baby, don't give up. We gon' be alright. Go ahead and wipe your eyes. Look at me, ma, keep your head up. Know it's cold outside. I got my heat, I'll be alright. Remember all the nights my mama cried? Baby, don't give up. We gon' be alright. Go ahead and wipe your eyes. Look at me, ma, keep your head up. Know it's cold outside. I got my heat, I'll be alright. You was faking all that pain. Doctors couldn't find the vein. Still remember all them hospitals. We made it through the rain. Now I understand the real pain still remain. Cause once a heart gets broken, it'll never be the same. Surgery couldn't fix it. I know it didn't seem like they get it. Watch you battle with addiction. Check you in, you finally did it. Several times we faced eviction. Sofa damn near in the kitchen. With a fucked up family picture. Family ain't even in the picture. Watch as you sip down your elixir. Drown it out with the liquor. They say heaven's a beautiful place. Seems like you're trying to get there quick. I'm about to build a kingdom. We'll get there in a minute. Even if you gave up, I'll make sure that we finish. Close your eyes and get some rest. I'll be back. I'm going to get it. Yeah, mama, I'm going to get it. When you wake up, we gon' live. Remember all them nights my mama cried? Baby, don't give up. We gon' be alright. Go ahead and wipe your eyes. Look at me, ma, keep your head up. Know it's cold outside. I got my heat, I'll be alright. Remember all them nights my mama cried? Baby, don't give up. We gon' be alright. Go ahead and wipe your eyes. Look at me, ma, keep your head up. Know it's cold outside. I got my heat, I'll be alright.